left available.
But even though Luger's been living, he hasn't been the one carrying. The game has been about
I think
solo
you still
lanes.
do it.
In the beginning games, he was really, 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 really good for him. He was the one carrying in the games that they did win. I would bring up, though, for Team Liquid now, since you know you're giving over the Zeri, your priority on the Vi, on the Nautilus, do rise up. Point and click so you can actually kill it and make sure Luger does not carry another.
And I think an important choice for TL, whether or not they pick Jinx again, because Trundle and Ornn were such big factors in keeping him safe. A lot less protection available just to be drafted by TL, but they do go with it again.
You can always pick different items. I think about Kraken Slayer in the previous game. He's like high frontline. I can just hit for damage this time. He can just go Gale Force. Make him safe for, and it depends what is on the CLG side for dive.
I really do think Vi right now is just through the roof because it's also very good into Jinx. Honestly, both sides can utilize it pretty well.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a jungle Sejuani, though, for Santorin. It's about recreating the same structure and simplicity in the team comp that TL's had in the last 2 games. So even though the tools are going to be different, I think Sejuani slots in Trundle's spot.
That does track. I do agree. Also, though, raising you, Bwipo has looked best on these tanks, and Ornn is banned. And Sejuani keeping it as a flex to the top lane, I think, is important.
True.
Yumi, probably. I mean, you just go to the tier list at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it looks solid. Honestly, the 2-on-2 has looked good overall. Weirdly, I've actually kind of liked the Lulu more as a strange thing because she's had lane prio. Like, Poome Luger got kills when he was playing the Lulu.
And it's very noticeable, the lack of the roams with the Yumi. You definitely, experience the difference in the early stages of the support vision difference.
Goes Renata, goes for lane dominance. I like that. CLG's had the better of the bot 2-on-2, picks the most aggro enchantress available. I like this a lot, actually. You can 2v1 the Jinx. If you land handshake, she's just kind of dying to you.
Also, Team Liquid have preferred, hey, we are going to take some really strong scaling options, and Renata can accelerate the game much quicker than Yumi can.
Yep. Plus, if there's big grouped up team fights, the ultimate does buy a lot more space for them.
Oh, there it is! Dread it, run from it. Bjergsen Zilean arrives. Game 5.
Thought of it in game 4, takes it out of this one. It is blind pick mid lane. Yes, you can cover with bans.
The
but
Chrono
it's like, this is the
Keeper himself. Bjergsen lays it down in game 5 to keep Team Liquid in the playoffs, to keep their hopes alive.
That's the trump card. They always have it ready at some point in the series.
Their social media doubled down, by the way. I saw the tweet from the Team Liquid account. They said, yes, we've been saying this entire time, this team is built to win or nothing. And they're staring nothing in the face, and they won back-to-back games.
You said, Kobe, that this has happened before where a team has been down 0-2 early on in the losers bracket. It was TSM in 2020 summer. They then ran the table to be LCS champions. Bjergsen was in that situation on that team 2 years ago.
The threads are coming together, Jatt. The threads are coming together. All right, let's look at it. Team Liquid with some protection bans here. Yeah, exactly.
What else are you looking at here? Or is it Aatrox? It's going to be Silas, who can, of course, take away Zilean. Of course, a strong champion. How much consistent damage is available, though? The more AoE you are, the less the Zilean matters, because you revive the Sejuani, but everyone else is at half. Fight still over, they still retreat, you get the kill afterwards. If it's all single target front line, now you just get a health bar back, and too much time has been spent. Everyone else has to retreat. CLG, get rid of Renekton. Aatrox is up. I think he's been a really big deal in terms of winning lanes and then being there for the team fights.
Olaf ban as well, trying to deny Zilean Olaf as a combo. Remember that Sejuani flex pick is looming, though, so they can pick top lane or jungle. They're probably going to save that pick and pick CoreJJ's support here to keep CLG guessing as much as possible.
Lulu is the grab. Yumi, left alone on this one. Lane dominance more important. Yeah, the hover's like, we know we left it up.
They're going to throw Yumi mid into the Zilean.
But yeah, I mean, it really does feel like the ability for the supports to run out of lane, get stuff done, fight early on. CLG really want to step up, and I mean, Yumi's one of the worst laners out there, right? Realistically, Lulu gives you more pressure there. Of course, Core can roam himself, leave Hans alone. Akali! What? CLG get their signature solo laners backs against the wall.
Oh, this is perfect for a game 5.
Where did Yone come from? I forgot he was available.
The quintessential champions for both teams. It is the Dhokla Palafox Akali Yone versus Bjergsen Zilean in Game 5 with all of the stakes.
Blind
And he
Yone top. Bwipo, welcome to NA. Pick anything you want, because Big Dokes is his champ.
I know there's a lot of strategy in bans and the way you weave it through the draft phase, but if we were gonna have a blind pick Game 5, I would hope it looks something like this. Signature picks for Bjergsen, Palafox, Dhokla, even Contractz with Poppy and how much success he's had on it so far this split. These are amazing drafts for a 5th game.
Well, Yone outscales very slightly. Well, I mean, it's Yone. He outscales pretty much everyone, to be honest. I think Shax's the one who kind of meets up with him. What's it going to look like in this game? Time tick went on to Game 5. Monkasteer versus Phreak. Who's it going to be?
Bjergsen Zilean currently stands at a whopping 74% win rate over 43 professional games. He saved it for the final game.
Akali Yone is also the forbidden combo for CLG. They are so good with those two in the solo lanes.
If you are one of these new players trying to take down the big names of the LCS, the legends, Bjergsen is literally the biggest, most famous player on his most famous champion right now. If you want to start the legend of Big Dokes Yone, this is the game you have to do it. If you want to start the legend of Palafox Akali, this is the game you have to do it.
And I mean, every good CLG victory is as the underdogs. Their very first time winning the LCS, Double Lift's trophy case, no longer empty. Against TSM, no less. They come back, replacing half the members. Who he is in as a rookie, Styx is in as a rookie. They do it again. They go to MSI against all odds. They do it here. And now Palafox against Bjergsen. Had done it the regular season, up against Game 5 Zilean now, though.
And in the last 2 games, Team Liquid have said, let me remind you why you're the underdogs.
They have played so solid in the last 2 games. Top diff has been a big thing, though, with the Ornn, and specifically with Santorin, finding such efficient early gank angles. Those 3 camps before ganking first huge. And Dhokla, he's undeterred. He's just going hard onto Bwipo.
Yeah, chose to drop CS. He could have last hit the 3 melee minions, instead tries to deny as much as possible instead.
And he did deny experience even on a couple of those. On
really?
Bwipo, I see he's missing.
That's pretty big then. Yeah, obviously that's pretty much more important then. Going to be level 2 on 1 minion here. Gets away from the Aatrox Qs, but get ready. He's going to have E right here with the dash. He can take a pretty heavy trade. Doesn't go for it.
Doesn't have eyes on Santorin yet. Has memories of that last game.
Yeah. And he learned shield, by the way, so he can get more durability for this one. There's the handshake in. Decent damage. Hansama takes all of it. But a CS lead for the TL bottom lane. Perfect CS for the AD carry. And it's Contractz coming here first. There's already a ward.
Yeah.
Dhokla has the knock up now, but Contractz is seen.
They can force him off the wave.
Yeah, they're still going to try and push him off. The turret diving of Poppy is so strong.
Zilean could teleport up. Zilean would be the only...
Red buff Poppy's a lot of damage. Gets the heal.
Angle. He doesn't get
around. They got a lot of damage. He can't dash. And it's first blood CLG.
Phase rush Poppy doesn't even need the stun.
El Contracto! Another first blood before 3 minutes. He gets in there. He sees the ward. He doesn't care. Bwipo goes down. He teleports back. Bottom lane getting harassed as well.
Had sense if he needed it. Luger back to more defensive options. The wave goes down and Dhokla.
All right. Santorin is down here. They did get a good trade onto Luger. They get even more.
Low. He's so low.
They have heal on Poome.
Is it dive for a dive?
That is a huge handshake. Good damage on a CoreJJ. Summoner heal burned now by Core.
This is tense.
They have no offensive summoners. Santorin doesn't have smite for this. It's fightable, but he gets the % health damage, knocks it down.
Okay, it's actually going to be a counter jungle camp. He only took the big Krug, so the medium Krug's going to be stuck there, but CLG avoids that dive. The lane dominance is coming out from Hansama and CoreJJ, however, already 8 CS up in this matchup.
Little bomb hit there as they trade back and forth on the top side. Dhokla gets away from the yoink and is chilling here. 22-12 in CS. His inventory is up 650 gold in stats. That's supposed to be assist. He didn't get first blood gold. So he is off to the races here. TP down for both top laners. Flash up for them both. So if there is a gank, it can be played safely. And Contractz up the first blood, equal in camps.
Dhokla has flash. Santorin going for...
And Dhokla's going to feel safe because he has Contractz or Raptors. He is not safe.
He can always pull back. They're going to play around it. And he's going to instant flash. Slow's still going to land. Q, auto stun. He's got a shield, but it's not going to matter. They're going to knock down Dhokla.
Santorin answers back in the top lane. Jungle gank for jungle gank. Both of them finding kills. And we're back to almost dead even on gold.
And with TP down, this is arguably actually a more harmful kill. Keep in mind, kill credit went to Bwipo. He got more money out of the kill, and it's going to deny a lot more gold.
And remember, they got his flash, too. Really, really big there. Not having to expend the flash of Sejuani or Aatrox. Flash advantage on top lane now for Team Liquid.
Actually, he's not going to lose that much. The wave was big enough. Santorin didn't help him push, so the entire wave is here. I feel like you actually really want to shove that and deny gold, and he denies nothing.
I think a little bit of a missed opportunity for sure. Dhokla actually hoping to stop a recall, but Bwipo picks a safe spot. And yeah, we're really back to neutral. The gold is only 100 different amongst those top laners. The 400 gold lead for Contractz isn't amazing because Poppy doesn't scale incredibly hard. So as we approach level 6, we're going to start seeing those really important flanking team fights and clutch moments of whether or not Zilean ultimate can save.
And I think where the gold is going to be really important because bottom lane for Team Liquid, even though the team gold is basically even, Hansama is eating up down here. Constant lane pressure for the Lulu Jinx.
Alexander Ward doesn't reveal it with his own control ward, so perfect info by TL. He doesn't know he was spotted necessarily, except for the Scry's Bloom.
Mercury Tread's value also so huge in this game. Contractz rushing it. Zilean stuns, Sejuani stuns, polymorphs. Palafox with a very aggressive purchase there. Traditionally, Sorcerer Shoes early on in Akali wouldn't be that big of a deal, but just the threat of one polymorph or one Zilean bomb, meaning his demise, means he has to play perfectly to survive.
Trigger Ward will time out without being killed. Not a huge deal, but once again, the vision is there for Team Liquid as Contractz gets a couple of control wards to get rid of. See 40 to 36 in CS, both junglers good for one gank, and about 10 camps each, double stun. Nice shots by Bjergsen. Palafox knocks down the wave and sits at equal farm right now. Dhokla, wow. Didn't think you get away from the pullback, does not want to get comboed and just ults for health.
And look at the wave spot. It's perfect for Bwipo. Pushing towards him, he can keep this. Dhokla does not have a teleport. He's gonna have to walk his way all the way back as it slowly builds. You need the DPS of 4 ranged minions to keep it frozen. It only has 3, so it'll slowly move back the other way. On that minion wave, it's very important too, because these can be mini objectives. If you build up a 2-3 stack top wave, then you can try and play off of the crash as another objective. Bwipo doing a good job here, just barely last hitting.
Yep.
Cannon minion keeps it in front.
It's 140 gold or so denied so far. A cannon and 3 melees gone. Gold and XP both. Very relevant. Handshake's gonna land for a double stun. But Luger's gonna get a bit low. He's gotta be a bit careful. Heal is up for Poome. Might need to use it pretty soon. CoreJJ, good damage. Sidesteps the rocket. Could have flashed if he needed to, but hugs the wall.
Very difficult lane for CLG to survive here.
They're ganking Dhokla again.
He's got no ult, no flash.
And they're waiting around for it. Here's Q3, Q's away, and Santorin's gonna have the slow. Is it enough though? Poppy eviction gets rid of the jungler, and it means it's not enough damage anymore. Bwipo forced to flash this time out.
Yeah, flash from Contractz forces it from Bwipo. Counter gank from Contractz, barely in range there. They save his life for now.
And Contractz had to go up there. Dhokla was just going to get denied indefinitely by Bwipo, the threat of his ultimate and the freeze he had. But because he got pulled top lane, his bottom lane is also in pain. So TL applying pressure in both sides.
Yeah, the lane dominance here of the Jinx Lulu combo from Team Liquid. Increasing its CS lead here with the Cull stacking as well. And they're gonna get another hard shove in as Santorin comes to answer Contractz.
Aatrox in base though, knowing that he recalled to buy cooldown boots.
A very long time to finish up the Herald though.
And level 6 Zilean in Rift Herald fights is very strong. It takes them so long to kill one, and they'll never get that first kill. Bwipo on his way. Lulu also over here first. It's going to be tight.
Will just about one-shot it, but can they make it happen? Stun's coming across. Here comes the team fight. So much damage to the back line. It's Dhokla already gone. Palafox can't fight, and CLG gambled, and they lose.
Bwipo did so much damage there on the Aatrox. He turns to the champion that gave Team Liquid so much trouble in the past. And now he's showing up huge, huge, huge. He's got the early serrated Dirk for his Eclipse build. And man, that was felt.
He is going to be a problem, especially with the support of the Zilean and Lulu if needed in team fights. The higher damage variant build. Now a 2,000 gold lead opened up and Rift Herald in inventory for Santorin. This is looking a lot like game 4.
All right, here's another look at it. As soon as Bwipo gets here, Santorin goes with the ult. Sweet spot into sweet spot for him. Number 3, good night.
Yup, he's back, but the stun combo was there. Santorin, and then followed up by Bjergsen. And you've got a 0 and 2 Yone, who started out winning his lane handily. Denied XP, got a first blood gank, was up the first recall. And Santorin turned it around. Bwipo played it out right.
So do you want to get it all back?
Has ult, does not have flash. Can he heal enough is the question. Knockups are there, and they hand the kill over. CLG not willing to die yet.
They can get maybe a turret play here too, but Bwipo does have his teleport to get back to lane after dying. We'll take a look here at the lane swap from Team Liquid. They moved their Jinx Lulu into mid lane and have Bjergsen on bottom side matching the Akali. So it does mean +1 teleport here for Team Liquid. If Bjergsen can get that shove off, the Zilean with the extra teleport.
I mean, such a huge play there for CLG, keeping Dhokla in the game. Is gold now even with Bwipo?
Walking a straight line. I mean, you don't even care about dodging Borderlands, really. Just get back to your tower. He's going to be fine. Does have TP if needed. Earned a bit more money. So still probably slightly trailing Bwipo.
Okay, still a game. There was a danger there that TL could run away with it, but I think getting that kill onto Bwipo, getting the 2 plates onto Dhokla, means he will be able to get to his mythic item fairly soon, maintain relevancy, and first dragon still yet to fall.
Team Liquid, though, they're going to get more plates here. Hansama can free push on top side. They still have Rift Herald in hand for Santorin as well, so that's more money they haven't even used that's still in their pocket. CLG looking for the counter, though.
They might go for a fight here.
Double blast plan. Oh, they don't get Poome, though. He was not on the right side of it. There's no play to be had.
Well,
I think he wanted to come with and contacted too early.
I mean, if he does come with, I'm not sure who wins that fight.
Yeah, it's still a pretty even 3-on-3 there. Bjergsen also going to trail on up here through the Zilean. Another hard push from Team Liquid, though. Just going to use Rift Herald, kill the Rift Herald tower. You threaten with the Jinx passive. There's a really good play from Team Liquid. Bjergsen comes.
Look for the Berserk. Big damage to Poome.
Rift Herald will
get shot. Stays alive, though. The shield was good enough. Santorin pushed out, but the Herald charge still lands. And Shake claim knocked down the Herald, but it is now with 2 minutes till plates drop. 4 claimed on top side.
Okay, 1,500 gold lead. Team Liquid definitely in control. They need to continue to stay around Hansama, allow him to get to his mythic item, keep protecting him throughout the game. They have the tools to set him up to carry. They're also laning well enough to have a lot of pressure.
For Hans. He's got Flash Cleanse, has to burn the 1. Nice setup by Luger. Drops a couple of CS, but clearly worth it.
Yeah, CLG, good awareness there. The ping's coming down on the recall spot, and Luger jumping over.
He has ult, it'll bounce, but W of step. No, careful. Wow. That's such an overplay. Thing is, he could have cleansed the slow. I mean, maybe Santorin was going to chase him down, but Flash did not get slowed up.
Yeah, I still think that is an overplay by Luger, but Hansama's Flash, possibly the most important summoner spell in this game. Luger actually going to be behind on Hans in tempo now.
They've got a ward on him. Bjergsen can stop him.
Yeah.
Okay, I see you. Sees him on the ward, gets out. Bjergsen crushes much of the wave as he can, but this is now a much later recall for the AD carry. Luger can get back to lane, but could lose the tower if they want to play for it.
And this is where CLG has definitely gotten in trouble in the last 2 games. They have been getting out-pressured on the map by TL. TL is consistently crashing waves when CLG can't reach it, but then CLG still tries to contest the objective. So right now, TL has the teleport advantage and can probably set up around this dragon, and CLG has been arriving late to these objectives.
And it's been the Rift Herald fights. Here's 3 people collapsing towards mid, though, on the Aatrox.
Flashes, he knows that Contractz would stymie and E-dash, so doesn't want to take the knockup for it. Burns it, get out.
Those Rift Herald fights have really been the factor that just slingshotted Team Liquid ahead in the early game both times. And they're going to get the Dragon as well, with Contractz going for the chase attempt there on Bwipo towards the Raptors. Santorin starts up Dragon and shouldn't have anybody to worry about.
Hans and Core in the right spot. TL playing around them, says, okay, we'll go for bot pressure. Find the first break of the game will be ours. Still quite a bit away from Herald to spawn. Well over a minute at this point. As Drake, #1, goes to Team Liquid with a 2,000 gold lead.
And look at that gold difference between Hansama and Luger. 1,700.
Absolutely massive. I mean, he is huge on a signature pick of his, doing very well now in both Game 4 and Game 5.
Yeah, so much is going to come down to, can CLG get the assassination? They have to get through a Lulu and a Zilean if they want to take down Hansama. Team Liquid have so much peel, so much defense for him. Not to mention the revive.
Got to pay attention to these player cams. How much stress is CLG feeling, knowing they are falling behind in this game? They don't have answers to this Jinx, just taking what was plate after plate, but now the first turn of the game to extend that massive gold difference. You can see Kraken Slayer, 1,300 gold in inventory, and Luger still doesn't even have his first mythic.
And he's dropping farm. You can see he just did not play for the bot side. Instead, lets Dhokla grab it. He'll walk back to mid and play for this. 126 CS, I mean, well under 10 a minute. We're looking at, 8 to 9 at that point, whereas Hans is over 10. He's clearly getting anything he wants. Even Bjergsen's farming really, really well, but it's about the CLG solo laners as much as it's about the Team Liquid bot lane.
Rift Herald.
Yeah,
See.
they should be able to get it.
Yeah.
We do have Unleashed Teleport for Bwipo. It's burning down pretty quickly, but Team Liquid heading over.
Palafox isn't dealing damage. He's sitting in the brush when no one's near on that side of the map. It is going to be burnable. It'll be in smite range in a second. Shouldn't be a problem. Is claimed. I don't believe they can kill Contractz. He will be out. So TL, look at mid, see it's happening. Dhokla simply grabs the mid lane wave as he can come down and match Bwipo, who stayed bot.
Possibly a stabilizing Rift Herald there for CLG. It's nice to get some small victories when Team Liquid does feel like they're strangling CLG a little bit on the map. Still, they have their mythic items on Akali and Yone now. They have very dynamic team fighting with these two champions.
Chance at a 1v3. Now we got Contractz here as well. They're going for damage to Santorin. The tackle, but Lulu buys a lot of space. Poome is around, but no. Bjergsen's already here. There is no fight that turns into actual kill. As Bwipo comes in, they're going to find the stun, and he never hits a button. It's Poome going down and able to flash in time now into Contractz. Stopwatch, but the bomb's still hitting time. It's going to be close. They find the stun, and Bwipo gets the kill. 4-2, 4,000 gold lead. Add 500 on top because mid lane's going down.
Team Luger get the fight. They're not done there. It's going to be going for 2. Dhokla on the outside, looking to punish, though.
Is there a play going in? Ulti, not going to land anything but minions. Stunned and just locked down. Team Liquid will not be stopped.
They are a machine at the moment. The last 3 games have been total domination by Team Liquid. CLG throwing themselves at Hansama, unable to land the crucial skill shots and just getting killed one by one.
Wow, Team Liquid this series. Starting out
Gets the heart beating.
Yeah, starting out the first 2 games looking limp, but now standing tall. Team Liquid. Okay, so again, everybody immediately starts coming to the skirmish from Team Liquid. If you look at the mini-map, they're all heading over as the cooldowns are used up, and Luger and Poome get flanked by Bwipo while Santorin still has Sejuani ultimate, nails that one.
And just how much impunity Team Liquid can have as they chase through. They haven't even needed Zilean ultimate in 17 and a half minutes.
And yeah, exactly. The bomb's doing enough.
He hasn't used it.
CLG on the run once again. And Santorin.
Not yet. Rockbell didn't want to play. Nice knock up. Still going to go in for E2. Decent damage. Hansama won't get health left. He has the invis for some time. Jumps in towards core. Can't find that kill either. Whimsy going to wait it out invisible. Hansama still safe in the sides. Eviction onto whom? Gets rid of Santorin. But Bwipo is here, and Bwipo is here wide-eyed looking for a whole lot more. Dhokla running away. Knockup's going to land. Berserk buys a little bit of time, but only forces him to walk away. CLG get a breather. They will survive, but they will certainly not thrive.
Yeah, Team Liquid are inevitable. They charge forward. Again, only 18 and a half minutes into the game. They've got the health to keep pushing.
We're looking at a turret right now. Hansama safe to free fire. Stunning to Bjergsen. The no bomb is huge. Nearly sets up with Bwipo. Poome burning, staying alive. Dhokla back out with the bailout. Doesn't get much for it.
You can see CLG just trying to pull out all the tricks there. Palafox just landing everything on Akali, still not nearly enough, and they do more!
Shot knockup, they're gonna find Hansama, flash the zap, they get a single kill. Look at how much effort it took for a single drop of blood.
Maybe they can get the dragon out of it. There is 30 seconds left on this death timer here for Hansama. doesn't look like they can traverse over the map quick enough to get another objective, and so they go for a kill instead.
They get away from the Bjergsen bomb. Here's a TP. Going for broke is CLG. Needs the knockup. Needs 2 more Qs to land. There we go. Gets a bit of time. CoreJJ will just about die to the snapback and does so. The other bot lane member is dead, but Santorin soloing Drake.
Exactly. That means Team Liquid will get that dragon then. CLG getting some money back with a couple of kills for themselves. But Team Liquid marching ahead. 2 dragons now. Rift Herald used on top side for CLG, though, to try and push forward.
Very critical kills for them. I specifically think getting the bounty onto Luger is so necessary if they want to have any chance in this game. Dragon is a bit of a pipe dream to try and get that at this point, but getting the kills, getting this turret, at least make the game somewhat playable in team fights.
Yeah, get that solo tower gold onto the Yone Palafox.
They can get this, though.
He flips Bwipo, auto, Q, ult still up. Holding it now, dashes through, decent damage. Oh! Shuriken misses. Bwipo gets out.
That would have been such a huge capper to the CLG sequence if they could have picked up their 3rd kill as well as getting that first turret. But still, love that CLG is still going for things. That's always going to be the way they play to the bitter end.
Yep, getting these picks, getting these kills, trying to claw their way back into the game. This is what you get when you pick Yone, Akali style champions. Trying to get some outplays, trying to get some assassination plays as the map is spread out.
Definitely wants the split. Obviously, Zilean will crush most of the engaged tools that CLG has.
Watch Hansama's positioning on the map too. No flash left on this Jinx, so how close the Zilean and Lulu are for peel means a tremendous amount. Jinx with low mobility and CoreJJ constantly hovering right behind him, just out of vision there, you see. Just making sure Hans can farm safely without getting picked.
Contractz wants to spot it. Smite fight! Oh, 1 HP!
Oh.
Yep, thumbs up. Misjudged by literally 1 health, and it's gonna go over. You can see, though, Dhokla is a very good, source of damage here for the team. 2 items.
He's got an item advantage on the Aatrox right now, so is able to provide a little pressure in those side lanes. I think the story, maybe, of this series, though, has been Hansama finding this Jinx pick, finding an answer to Zeri, something that he wasn't really able to find success on himself. It had been the target of so many bans, back and forth in ban phase, but he's not only won lane, he's also been able to perform very well in team fights. And look at this gap right now, 70 CS between the 280 carries.
And it also has done a lot for their champion select, for their draft. It allows them so much more flexibility here, in addition to being such a great lane source of power.
And you saw the push, right? Off of Yuumi into more lane dominance. It was clearly so good. Have you picked the litter? Nah, it's Renata. Go for as much dominance as possible. So, okay, Lulu will leave it up entirely. And the 2-on-2 heads up, won by TL. That pressure spilling over. Core, of course, so good at the roams overall. A 5-4 kill line, 2-0 in Drake's. Team Liquid leading. Knockup not gonna land. Dhokla forces a snap back as Bwipo holds the line safely as a Black Cleaver comes through. Now on 2 items himself.
Attempt at the pick, I like it. Sejuani, Santorin there kind of hovering, seeing if Dhokla will go for more aggressive plays. He's constantly been hunting him here. Mid lane, though, they go at the speed.
Handshake's pretty good, though, and they're not gonna find much more.
It does feel like the game's a little bit stabilized, though, with how Team Liquid had been really taking a lot of turrets seemingly freely. Once they got those first 3 turrets down, CLG has been able to fight back in a pretty big way. Dhokla able to win that side lane a little bit against Bwipo, and no other casualties being suffered elsewhere on the map. The 3rd Dragon will be a really big test, because it's definitely one of those Drakes where you don't want to give over Soul Point, but with the current disadvantage, if CLG lose that fight, surely the game is over, because it's likely going to translate into Baron as well.
And so I think the angle for CLG in preparation for that Dragon is to try and force some plays in the next 30 seconds, try and get some cooldowns to help you get your advantage back for that fight. Because if you go in straight up front to back, it's pretty hard to do. But they do have the possibilities of splitting the map, and they're trying to push on the side lanes here. Hansama's flashes come back up, so Team Liquid with all summoner spells feels very protective, very ready for that Dragon fight. If CLG can't force something out beforehand,
He's got Infinity Edge, though, and a lot of supports.
A full IE. They both recalled. Luger finished Hurricane. Hansama bot
the flank
edge.
coming in.
And here's Bwipo to knock him down. A stun to the wall. Is it enough as Akali comes around as well? Luger's already gone. on, but will there be recompense? It's gonna be Bjergsen, safe in the backline. Burns the ult, doesn't come down. Go back into Santorin, a low health bar. Palafox just dies into the tower, cannot get a target. The polymorph buys 1,000,000 hours and a double kill in for Hans Sama.
That was a moment where Hans Sama buys Infinity Edge and says, guys, I am very strong. Let's fight. They just walk it down mid. CLG tries to fight him, and it does not go well.
Team Liquid did it. They weathered the storm. They were slow starters in this series, but strong finishers. With that fight, the gold lead balloons, and they've got the Baron-empowered recalls to reset in time for this dragon even. They don't have to give it up. CLG trying to come back from those death timers. And here's a look at how it started. CLG tried to make this move onto Bjergsen Zilean. They don't have the burst damage to kill him before he can get out of the stuns, and so he revives and goes under the turret. Meanwhile, you look at the front line, Bwipo on this Aatrox has just been a terror.
It's not the split you expect, right? I understand trying to go for the Zilean in the backline with the flank angle, but then just getting absolutely mauled by the Aatrox was unexpected.
Yeah, and here they come to finish the job.
Contractz stuck in place, everything else is there. Hans Sama another kill, a spree for him. Berserk trying to find him, but it's already 2-0 for the AD carry. Santorin holds the front line. The ulti coming across to Hans, he's not gonna die for anything at this point. Bwipo zones the rest out. The shots, he's trying to get the last one. Rocket belt flash auto. One for Palafox, but it's a Pyrrhic victory. A single kill and everyone else is running for the hills or dead.
You can see just how damn hard it is. Palafox does everything he can to finish off Hans Sama. He has to wait out the Zilean ultimate. He has to wait out the stopwatch. He has to flash Proto Belt. He just barely gets him. And afterwards he looks up, he's like, guys, I did it. And he's not talking to anyone. They're all dead because Team Liquid has ran them over.
Team Liquid again. Balloon the gold lead. It keeps on shooting up. Fight after fight after fight. Objective bounties have arrived on the map for CLG, but they're getting further and further away.
How do you find your way back in? Tough when you are a full item, nearly 2 now, behind the opposing AD carry. You are not killing this Jinx. Your split push pressure is not good enough when you've got a 4-kill Aatrox hold on the side lane. And though Dhokla got his signature Yone, and Contractz ganked him for first blood, Santorin said no. Turned the lane right back around, and sadly for him, it's not enough here. 2, 5, and 3 has had some really rough games late in the series.
And Santorin has been so good all series long, even in the defeats. We saw him talking about how much he wants to win that first title since 2015. He has really willed Team Liquid towards these advantages.
Really has. Rift Herald fight after Rift Herald fight have gone Team Liquid's way in the last couple of games as well. He's even taken Wolves from Contractz still.
A turret. Need many more of those. Honestly, still a trade that's not too bad for the CLG side. Plus 250 for the bounty. As now we have the inhibitor turret siege, and Hans Sama is so safe here on 3.5 items. Jinx feels all right. Pokes for bombs, and that's another turret going down. We brought back the Yone. CLG hoping they can find some way in, but I still don't know how it works for them.
I mean, rose-tinted glasses, Dhokla, flash ults, 5 people, and then maybe.
But the health bar is now already low. The poke came in, couple of bongs, couple of rockets, and it's CLG getting burned. It's Dhokla dying. He flashes away from the target he wanted to kill. Heals up for a moment, but there's just no way anything happens anymore. Gold lead grows to nearly 9,000. Cloud Soul in 2 minutes. Team Liquid about to close this series out in a reverse sweep.
How fast can they run with a Cloud Soul and Zilean and Lulu speed on Hans Sama? This is going to be the fastest Jinx you've ever seen. Go, Powder, go.
Guardian Angel as well. Picks that over Bloodthirster. I think it's a smart call. Mikhail's being completed by CoreJJ.
They gotta kill him 3 times, and they gotta catch him with 10 billion move speed.
Yeah, I mean, we
And
talked
cleanses.
We talked about finding the Jinx pick for lane, but I feel like it also streamlined the way Team Liquid wants to play. They're like, okay, we have the Jinx. We don't have all this flexibility. We don't have the Zeri who can theoretically fend for herself. We must protect, set up structured team fights, and they have been doing just that.
Yeah, well, CLG trying to split push. You see Dhokla out there on the mini-map on top side, but Team Liquid aren't going to give him a lot of time to work with. Bwipo moving in the bottom minion wave while the rest of Team Liquid sweeps through the jungle to take out that vision and join him.
13 Does TL play it slow? Last time around, they didn't have to wait for Baron. They just closed it out. And they set up the siege for bottom lane right now. They know it's an easy exit back towards Drake. A few final recalls come in. The blue elixir for Palafox. It's time to go for broke. Can they get anything done? No hit. Bwipo back out to safety.
Okay.
It's time for the play. Flash tackle. They get the stun. There's cleanse. There's out. Ulti hits the front line. But Lulu turns it all the way back around. It's time for Berserk. It's gonna land.
Ooh.
Is it enough? It's a GA out for
It's a
one.
lot.
Can they keep going? Second GA is down, but Dhokla's out of health. And Han Sama is still attacking. A perfect cleanse for Luger for the slow, but it's not gonna matter, because Han Sama still is gonna push CLG away. Many important cooldowns are missing, but still does it matter. 20 seconds to go until it's a Cloud Soul, and TL do not feel stopped. Poome gonna be in danger, runs back out, double inhibitor gonna be gone.
They've got too many lives. Phreak on Sama still has his GA, and Zilean ultimate is back up.
It's already back. The ability haystack looks good. And Dragon Soul is up in 4. And meanwhile, it's going to be Palafox dead in 3. Stun.
Oh, Dhokla.
Shot. Kills come in. The W lands. Dhokla's on 1 hit. And the Zilean ult happens still the same. Santorin just will not die. But CLG certainly will. Not a single mark in their favor. Bwipo's inside the base.
I think Bjergsen has oh man. Bjergsen has found a loophole with double elimination. He's turned it into triple. They had 4 people that should have died in this fight. No one's gone down yet.
Ulti goes for a little bit of something, but can't find a single kill. Still drops in the end, and that's gonna do it. Team Liquid reverse sweep CLG and stay alive.
The veterans do it. They bring it back. The boys on stage.
Such a comeback by Team Liquid. Finding a way to rally around Han Sama's Jinx. They've definitely come full circle from the start of the split, where Bwipo said, you know, I'll just go on Orin and we'll play around bot side. That's how they began that reverse sweep. A lot of relief for Team Liquid, but the job for them is definitely not done.
They await Sunday's match. They also await tomorrow's match. EG, TSM, fight tomorrow. Winner fights TL for top 3. Championship weekend, spot at Worlds. That's the stakes. TL is coming back in 3 days for Sunday's match. Speaking of CLG, 4th seed. They lost to 5th in the first round. They lost to 3rd here. Not quite up to the task of the top team. Still a good one, but not up to the upper echelon. An improvement over spring, to be sure. I want to see them back in summer.
Yeah.
But not quite as good as Team Liquid.
I mean, CLG is going to feel crushed, but they have nothing to be ashamed of with the way that they played this year. Up 2-0 against Team Liquid really, truly pushed them to the brink. They just couldn't quite close it out, but they are a hell of a team.
Huge improvements for that team, for that organization this year. But as you said, Phreak, not enough to move on. The playoffs competition is getting so hot. Team Liquid squeak on through, reverse sweeping CLG, moving on to the next step. And again, they set their sights on winning the entire league. So this is just one best of 5 in a line of many.
Yeah, and this was the 5th series to go to game 5 of 7. A trend definitely in these playoffs is teams not necessarily being able to close out other teams. Like, being clutch in those elimination games has been the deciding factor for which teams move forward.
And you see now, you know, these veterans and the discipline that you have in best of 5s and not tilting, you know, when you're down 0-2, giving you the chances to go for these reverse sweeps. Just looking at, okay, what do we fix? How do we problem solve this to move forward in the series, and then replicate that each stage? And Team Liquid, as soon as it felt like, you know, they found their compact strategy, they were able to ride that all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, and it looked good to find what answers there are. Jinx had, again, 1 recorded pick on this patch in top 5 leagues. Han Sama just added, 2 to the list at this point now, so he's 2/3 of all the Jinx plays in this patch right now. I mean, it works for him, right? There are always champions out there that do fit the mold and are good. I mean, Seraphine bot is one of them that every team plays, but a couple of these teams do, and it can look good. So good to see TL find a version that works for them. Now, we are going pro to pro with Santorin in just a few minutes, but for